working for you. This is your Wave 3 weather forecast from meteorologist Brian Good.
Good morning at 6:12. The only thing better than pancakes right now, probably ice cream. There's an ice cream social going on the riverfront today, and we'll
is there?
tell you about that a little later on Sunrise.
Well, that's a good timing there.
One of our guests bringing in a banjo, so stick around for that.
All right, are you going to participate in that?
I might do some little toe tapping.
You like that, like that style?
I do.
Country,
I do.
Don't you? Yeah, that's a
bluegrass and country.
Hopefully, a lot of the storms that do fire today won't mess up anybody's plans that are outside. It's going to be a hot day, but the storm timing could be bad. The Madison Regatta taking place later on today, so hopefully no problems. The weather team will be up there starting about 1 o'clock. Let me show you how things are looking right now outside. It's not too bad, pretty much like it has been the past several mornings. You're not going to notice a change just yet, folks. If you're waiting to see some relief from the heat, you have to wait until later this afternoon. Between now and then, it'll feel just like it has the past several days. So the relief has not arrived yet. It is still very much in the middle of a heat wave, if you will, here this morning. Hazy sky, sun coming up here shortly, 81 outside in Louisville, a pair of 7s for Jasper and Munfordville. Look at that dew point, though, at 70. It is going to be humid outside for a while today. That's the reason why the heat advisory has been issued. 81 here, 76 in Fort Knox, and 77 in Campbellsville. You factor in the moisture and the temperature. We already have a heat index for several spots. It feels like 85 here in Louisville, 81 in Jasper, and 85 back into Evansville. So it is very warm and, as I mentioned, muggy outside. Now, so far we haven't had any storms fire up close by on Stormcutter HD, but we've had a few off to the east, closer to Lexington, where they've had some minor flooding taking place between Lexington heading toward the Richmond area. They're just now starting to fade a little bit. These storms developed and just didn't go anywhere for the past several hours. They're finally beginning to wane a little bit there in eastern areas of Kentucky. But for us, nothing yet showing up. That may change later. Got the cold front here just to our north. This will be the focal point for more showers and storms to fire up. We're not expecting these storms to move fast, so once they develop, they'll pretty much sit on the same spots. You could see certainly some very heavy rain and some very intense lightning. Here's Futurecast at this point out by 2, 3 o'clock. We'll start to see storms fire. Between now and then, we should hit our day's high in the upper 90s, and then the storms will cut it off of the pass and keep us from hitting 100. At least that's the thinking right now. The longer the storms take to develop, the higher the chance will be that we'll hit 100 again. And then later on tonight, storms fade, but then after midnight, they're back. And I think this will be the worst of this system. Will probably be while you're sleeping tonight. Showers and storms pretty widespread overnight into early on Monday. So Monday morning's commute could be pretty sloppy in the area. And then by Monday into Tuesday, things calm down. Rain amounts potentially here could be quite impressive. Futurecast is pointing out nearly 2 to as much as 3 inches of rain across Kentuckiana, while some spots like Seymour on this map, only a 1/10 of an inch. So it's going to be one of those luck of the draws here. Hopefully you'll get some heavy amounts of rain. We don't need the flooding, but a nice little soaking certainly could be on the way. 98 degrees today. A heat advisory is in effect. That 98 will be early, and then we'll see the storms hit and we'll fall. 73 for tonight as we head into tomorrow. 85 degrees, kind of a stormy morning across Kentuckiana. And the extended really isn't that bad. We'll stay in the 80s, it looks like, to near 90. Slight chance for a storm each and every day all the way through next weekend. Scott?
All right, Brian, it's 6:16. Health officials in Chicago say heat stress was a factor in the deaths of 4 people Friday. A total of 10 people died in Chicago in the past week from heat-related causes. 3 people died in this building that you see here. It has no ceiling fans or central air conditioning. A resident said he does what he can to try and stay cool.
It's very hot inside. The hallways are extremely hot. The rooms are extremely hot. The people up in there, they leave their doors open so some air can circulate through there. Me, I just sit in the bathtub all day because I only have a fan.
And people are spending time in the shade and stocking up on ice. As the thermometer again hits triple digits, nearly 150,000 homes are still without power in West Virginia. Severe storms swept across the state more than a week ago, causing massive power outages. Counties have opened cooling centers where people without electricity can find relief from the heat. Officials expect power to be restored to all areas by sometime Sunday. The storms knocked out power to more than 1 million homes across the state. Truly living up to its new name, Phoenix, a baby golden eagle, rose from the ashes of one of Utah's wildfires. As Todd Tanner reports, a wildlife expert went to the eagle's nesting ground expecting to find a fire victim. Instead, he discovered a sole survivor.
For him to survive something like that is outstanding. I mean, there's just no words for it.
The story of this eagle starts on June 1st when he was photographed by Kent Keller.
He is a bird bander, so he goes up and bands these birds in the nest. And that gives us longevity records of what's going on with the nesting behaviors and all that type of stuff.
And in this nest on a ledge high above the community of Eagle Mountain,
he was the single baby in the nest.
On June 21st, the human-caused dump fire began burning. Thousands of acres were consumed over several days, including the nest site with the eaglet, too young to fly. Kent returned several days later.
He basically went back to retrieve a band, and he wanted to close out the information, the data on the band.
So he went back thinking he was going to find a dead bird.
Right, right.
But this symbol of freedom was found alive on the 4th of July. Now named Phoenix, this eagle truly did rise from the ashes.
The planes had to engulf his body just because they're on the top of his head, they're on his back, they're under his wings, they're on his legs.
You can see the shafts up here. They're still growing, but they're pretty much done for.
Handlers say Phoenix has a long way to go, but his future looks promising.
We're hoping to release him. That's the goal of our program, is to get him back out in the wild.
And in spite of his burned beak, Phoenix has started to eat on his own again. It will be at least a year before he will be able to return to the wild, because that's how long it'll take to grow new feathers. Well, authorities in North Carolina say 3 people have been found murdered. A neighbor found 2 of the bodies inside a home in rural Union County Saturday morning. A 3rd body was found in a nearby wooded area. Investigators aren't saying how the woman and 2 men were killed, but officials with the Union County Sheriff's Department and the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigations are looking for a pickup truck that's missing from the house. 2 Texas construction workers were killed in a crane collapse Saturday afternoon. The accident happened on the Richardson campus of the University of Texas at Dallas. The workers were dismantling the construction crane when it suddenly collapsed. 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts were blowing through the area at the time. Investigators don't know if the wind played a role, though. Some students on campus said they didn't realize an accident even happened.
It was really sunny earlier today, but then, it started getting darker. So, yeah, all of a sudden we hear a big boom, thought it was thunder, thought it was like nothing, no one got up. And I did have my headphones on, but I could still hear it over my headphones, but didn't think anything of it.
The crane was being used for construction of an arts and technology building on the Dallas campus. The Obama administration will ask Congress to continue U.S. aid to Afghanistan through 2017. The announcement comes as U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton attends an international conference in Japan on raising aid to Afghanistan. Clinton says U.S. funds will help Afghanistan build its economy. Delegates from 70 nations are at the conference to announce a 4-year assistance plan. They're pledging to give $16 billion to Afghanistan through 2015. Still ahead on Sunrise, it was a Redbirds reunion at Louisville Slugger Field, and a trio of Kentuckians are making a huge mark on the PGA Tour. Kendrick Haskins is up next with Sunrise Sports.
You've been injured and have questions about your legal rights? Call a lawyer now. The insurance companies are already working hard to fight against your claims. Don't accept a quick check until you check